This is Diana Krall, Canadian jazz pianist and singer. Now, if you're looking for a jazz artist that's sold over 15 million albums, has won 2 Grammy Awards, and has one of the most unique jazz voices on the scene today, you came to the right place. This video will examine the life and music of Diana Krall. Welcome back to my channel. Diana Jean Krall is a Canadian jazz pianist and singer known for her contralto vocals. She has sold more than 15 million albums worldwide, including over 6 million in the US. On December 11, 2009, Billboard magazine named her the second greatest jazz artist of the decade from 2000 to 2009, establishing her as one of the best-selling artists of her time. Krall is the only jazz singer to have had 8 albums debut at the top of the Billboard Jazz Albums chart. To date, she has won 6 Grammy Awards and 8 Juno Awards. She has also earned 9 gold, 3 platinum, and 7 multi-platinum albums. Krall was born on November 16, 1964 in Nanaimo, British Columbia, the daughter of Adela, an elementary school teacher, and Stephen James, an accountant. Krall's only sibling, Michelle, is a former member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the RCMP. Krall's father played piano at home and her mother sang in a community choir. Krall began studying piano at the age of 4 and took exams to the Royal Conservatory of Music. In high school, she was a member of the student jazz group. At 15, she began playing professionally in local restaurants. Krall won a scholarship to attend Berklee College of Music in Boston, where she studied from 1981 to 1983 before spending time in Los Angeles to play jazz. She returned to Canada to record her first album in 1992. She met veteran bassist Ray Brown in the early 1980s. Impressed by her piano playing, he introduced Krall to other musicians and was an important mentor. Krall recorded her first album, Stepping Out, for Just in Time Records in 1992. The album was released in 1993. She was accompanied by bassist John Clayton and drummer Jeff Hamilton. It caught the attention of producer Tommy LaPuma, who produced her second album, Only Trust Your Heart, in 1995. Her third album, All For You, a dedication to the Nat King Cole Trio in 1996, was nominated for a Grammy and continued for 70 weeks in the Billboard Jazz charts. Love Scenes, released in 1997, quickly became a hit record with the trio of Krall, Russell Malone on guitar, and Christian McBride on bass. In August 2000, Krall partnered with Tony Bennett for a 20-city tour, and in 2008 and 2009, they worked together again for a song on the TV series Spectacle, Elvis Costello with. Orchestral arrangements by Johnny Mandel provided the background for her 5th studio album, When I Look in Your Eyes, in 1999, her first released through Verve Records. The band mix was kept following arrangements on The Look of Love in 2001, created by Klaus Ogerman. This record achieved platinum status and reached the top 10 of the Billboard 200. The title track for the album, a cover of the Casino Royale standard popularized in the late 1960s by Dusty Springfield and Sergio Mendes, reached number 22 on the adult contemporary chart. In September 2001, Krall began a world tour. Her concert at the Paris Olympia was recorded and released in 2002 as her first live record, Live in Paris. The album included covers of Billy Joel's Just the Way You Are, a hit on US smooth jazz radio, and Joni Mitchell's A Case of You, and was also released as a video album. The 2001 movie The Score, starring Robert De Niro and Marlon Brando, featured a recording of Krall's entitled I'll Make It Up to You As I Go. This song accompanied the film's ending credits and was composed by fellow Canadian David Foster. After marrying English singer-songwriter Elvis Costello in 2003, Krall worked with him as a lyricist and began to compose her own songs, resulting in the album The Girl in the Other Room. Released in April 2004, it quickly rose to the top 5 in the United Kingdom and made the Australian Top 40 album chart. She also joined Ray Charles on the Genius Loves Company album in 2004 for the song You Don't Know Me, and her 2004 performance at the Bell Centre in Montreal on June 29th was released as her second live CD and DVD live at the Montreal Jazz Festival, released on November 23, 2004. In late May 2007, Krall was featured in Alexa's advertisement campaign. That year, she also sang Dream a Little Dream of Me with piano accompaniment by pianist Hank Jones for an all-star tribute album, We All Love Ella, celebrating the First Lady of Song in 2007, produced by Phil Ramone. Quiet Nights, produced by Krall and Louis LaPuma, was released on March 31, 2009, and consisted of mainly bossa nova standards. Krall produced Barbra Streisand's album, Love Is the Answer, released on September 29, 2009. In 2011, Krall went on a private retreat to Sri Lanka. In September 2012, she accompanied Paul McCartney at Capitol Studios in a live performance of his album Kisses on the Bottom, which was shown live on the internet. On September 13, 2012, Krall performed Fly Me to the Moon at astronaut Neil Armstrong's memorial service in Washington, D.C. Her 11th studio album, Glad Ragdoll, produced by T-Bone Burnett, was released on October 2, 2012, and covered mainly jazz tunes from the 1920s and 1930s. Her next, Wallflower, released on February 3, 2015 by Verve Records, was produced by David Foster, tackled more recent composers including the Eagles, Elton John, 10cc, Neil Finn, and Gilbert O'Sullivan. The album's title song is from Bob Dylan's Bootleg series, and Paul McCartney gave her his blessing to include I'll Take You Home Tonight, a previously unreleased original song he had written for his own Kisses on the Bottom album. On May 5, 2017, Krall released her 13th album, Turn Up the Quiet, produced by Krall and Tommy LaPuma again. The album won a Juno Award as Vocal Jazz Album of the Year in 2018. On September 14, 2018, a joint album between Krall and Tony Bennett, Love Is Here to Stay, was released. The album featured the song Fascinating Rhythm, originally recorded by Bennett in 1949, which earned him a Guinness World Record for the longest time between the release of an original recording and a re-recording of the same single by the same artist, 68 years, 342 days. September 2020 brought the release of her 16th studio album, This Dream of You, named after Krall's rendition of Bob Dylan's song from his 2009 album, Together Through Life. The album's dozen tracks were selected from over 30 unused recordings previously laid down by Krall with her longtime producer Tommy LaPuma before his death in 2017. The album was completed in May 2020 with production finished by Krall herself and included the jazz standard Autumn in New York, for which a video was created to raise awareness for New York Cares, the largest volunteer organization in New York City, founded in 1987. I hope you enjoyed this video on my favorite female Canadian jazz vocalist, Diana Krall. Now, if you've got a band or artist you'd like featured on this YouTube channel, pop it in the comments section. I'll make another video. Thanks for dropping by. Rock on.